Welcome to the Unstoppable Amazon Academy, Wholesale 2.0. And in this section, we're going to be talking about, do you need a website? There's a little bit of a debate in the wholesale sourcing community for Amazon on, do you need a website? Because in reality, you're probably not going to be selling on that particular website. However, there are some wholesalers who have expressed to me personally, and I've had the experience, that when you have an e-commerce website that's independent of a marketplace, it establishes you as a more serious seller. And they're more likely to consider you a serious seller and open an account with you. Whereas somebody who just sells on Amazon, they might think that maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you're not willing to do the extra work of creating your own e-commerce store. Remember that the vendors that you're buying from don't really have a background knowledge in Amazon and the differences between selling on Amazon, selling on an e-commerce site. They don't know how much work goes into selling on Amazon for most of them. So having an independent website can help establish credibility and help open doors for vendors that may not be willing to take you on as a vendor otherwise. There are many vendors that we have personally that were willing to take us on because we had an independent website in addition to selling primarily on the Amazon marketplace. A website helps prove that you're serious. Now that doesn't mean we need to spend $2,000 in getting a new website. You can build your own with Wix.com or Shopify fairly easily. You can also go to Upwork and for very little money hire somebody to create a website for you. We do offer a service that we can do that for you, but because Wix is so easy to set up a website and Shopify has become easier as well, we almost recommend that you just do it yourself so you can save some money unless you have enough seed money in your business. That setting aside money to have your website designed isn't going to impact your ability to buy capital. If it comes down to buying inventory or purchasing a website, you should buy your inventory first and slowly start to save up to build the website later. You can always go back to vendors 6 months from now and they get approached by a lot of people, so they may or may not remember you, and you can always say, we now have our own independent website as well. What we recommend is that you start with a template and you want to make sure that you actually hook up a checkout system. Now, the point of the website is not to sell things. Trust me, I have a separate e-commerce store. It takes work to get people to come to your website and make a purchase. So don't worry so much about having the right item, having those items in stock, or how will you ship them. In a very rare circumstance, could somebody come to your website and actually buy something? And if that happens, you can buy it off of Amazon and send it to them, or you can cancel the order. There's no Amazon feedback, so we don't really have to worry about it the same way that we would if we were creating listings on Amazon. The point is to make the website look professional and look realistic, not to sell items. Make sure you customize whatever template you use enough that it looks like a real website. So if you pull up the website for your best friend and say, would you buy from this website? Does this look like a real website? We want them to say yes. If you use everything that's stock from the template, it's going to look weird. It's going to look like maybe it's not quite customized enough. So make sure you change the titles, change the categories. And we want to make sure that as we're developing this website, we're developing it in a way that makes sense when the vendor, which is the main reason why we're making the website, right? We're making the website so that the vendor can see we're serious. So if you're going to be talking to grocery vendors and you send them to an apparel website, that looks weird. If you say you sell specialty toys on your independent website and then they go to your website and then it just is a web page that says that you're a distributor, that's going to look weird. We want what we say to the vendor and the business that they go to when they see the website to match up, because we want them to see that not only are we serious about selling, but we're also serious about their niche. Now, you might say, how are you going to do that when you tell me to try multiple niches? So what we did when we first started is we created a very generic website focused on specialty, hard to find items. And we had a category for home and kitchen, grocery, toys, and a mommy section. So this way, When somebody went to our website and we said, when we introduced ourselves as, hi, my name is Robin from Robin's Nest, and we specialize in really hard to find items. We look for things that are really high quality, things that are maybe a little out of the ordinary, but that people will search for because they're the best in their breed, and they're trying to locate that item for themselves. When I say that and then I send them to a website that has those products that I said, those type of products that I said that we sell, even though they're in a variety of categories, it makes sense to the vendor. So make sure that as you're developing the website, you're making sure that it makes sense. Does your website look like you're a trustworthy company? Does it look professional? So those are the basics on what you need to do in order to create your website. Again, a website is completely optional. We did it without a website for a very long time. There are a couple categories that it definitely does help significantly to have a website. One of those is specialty toys. Now, I will tell you here and again in the industry specific section that specialty toys is a very fiercely competitive niche. So, just go into it expecting those things, especially in categories where vendors have had a negative experience of the Amazon marketplace or even eBay as a marketplace. Having a website will be more important than perhaps in grocery, where they haven't really dealt with a lot of e-commerce yet. Depending on the category that you're pursuing, you might need a website more. One way to kind of test this out is to start looking in your niche, and if you're getting a lot of no's, then you could start to look at creating a website to go back and getting some more yeses. That's after, of course, we check to make sure that we've customized the email template, that we're using a branded email when we email for them, and then we're calling with follow-ups, calling and emailing alternately until they tell us to either go away or they give us a price list. So that's the basics on whether or not you